Hello. Hi. We are back with our author interviews. I know it's been such a long time coming, but we're here. So we're not going to dwell on the past. So thank you all that are tuning in. I'm so excited right now. Even though these always make me nervous. I don't know why, but I'm so excited. I have a brand new well, she's not a brand new author. I'm going to let her explain exactly how long she's been doing this, but I have a brand new connection with this young lady, Miss Allistar Banks. And so I'm going to bring her on, unmute, and say, welcome, Miss Allistar. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah, it's just Alistair.
Okay. Okay, so welcome to our author spotlight. I'm gonna first ask you one of the most difficult questions for a lot of people, and that is, tell us about yourself.
Okay. I know most people find that question to be difficult to answer, but hello, everybody. My name is Alistair, and I am born and raised in McCormick, South Carolina. I went to Abbeville High School and I graduated from there in 2019. And so from there, I earned my bachelor's degree in mass communications from Lander. And I've been writing ever since I was in the fourth grade. And that was when I did my first children's picture book called The Sorcerer and the Magic Pond. And this was where Henry learned to use his powers for good and not for evil to help the princess grow her hair long. So my teacher thought it was just a really cool story, and she encouraged me to enter it into a story contest. So I did, and I won second runner up that year. Yeah. And so recently, I just won
Wow.
a book award for my children's book called A Colorful Balloon Ride. So I found out about the SABA, which stands for Sound Advice Book Awards. And so I got Best Fiction Author, and my illustrator, Kellen Felix, got Best Illustrator for Freddie the Foster Frog book series, which she did with a client of hers. And also, she got recognized for our book as well. So I was really excited for us. It was just a great opportunity to share, our passion of children's writing and illustrating. So I was, yeah.
Oops. Sorry.
So a
So
colorful balloon ride is
you only write basically.
I write more than just children's books. I do
So you
self
basically only
help.
write children's books.
No, I do self help books for young adult women, and I do poetry. I have three gratitude journals now: one for children, one for teens, and one for adults. So I did the gratitude journals to coincide with Girl Rise because I think the gratitude journals, helped Allie Billings to appreciate life and just to be grateful for the things that she had. I feel like these journals could encourage, my fictionalized character and her journey as she goes along, struggling and overcoming low self worth and confidence. And comparing herself to others and all that. So, and which those are some things I experienced in my own life. And so I decided to create this fictionalized character to tell my story. So, yeah.
Amazing. So your children's books. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. My alarm's going off. Technical difficulty. So, what age range are children's books for?
So I would say pre K to second grade.
I'm sorry. Let me get this. I'm sorry. I think my mic went out. You guys, let me know if you can hear us if you're watching. Can you hear me, Alistair?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you and everyone else hear me?
You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So if you're listening, what I'm going to um, see if I can get the sound right. Okay. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. I think I
So,
think it's going in
okay.
and out.
Thank you, Miss Celestine. Allister, if you can hear me, please. I think on my end, I may need to switch device. Matter of fact, I'll do that now.
Okay.
Thank you guys for dealing with our technical difficulties with us. Okay, I am here. Miss Allister, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. See, that's why I have multiple devices. I've
Yeah.
learned. So let's um, close out my mic on that. Okay, so I was asking if you only do children's books, but you said that you don't do only children's books, which I absolutely love. But what age range are your children's books for?
So I would say pre-kindergarten up until second grade.
Okay, pre-kindergarten to say. Okay, so what is it? It's kind of like I guess you could say a teacher in a sense because you write books for that age. But why that age? Like why not like upper elementary or maybe like middle school? Why that age group?
Because when I was in school, learning colors was one of my favorite subjects in my art class, and so I turned my favorite subject of colors into my children's book called A Colorful Balloon Ride, where I help preschool and kindergartners learn to identify and match colors by using objects at the county fair. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have
Wow.
another children's book, which is called Lenny the Lizard and His Green Scarf. And this is where Lenny shares his green scarf with his woodland friends, Michael and Blue the Blue Jay, and then Otter the River Otter, to help them to feel happy all over again when they're feeling sad and all. So the green scarf gives them that comfort that they need to get through that situation, that hard, sad situation they're going through. So, yeah.
Wow. So let me go back because I know you said you started writing in the fourth grade. Was there a particular event or particular um, thing that kind of sparked that creativity then?
Hmm. I would say just I think children's shows and all that I was watching at that time sparked my imagination. And so that's what led me to writing The Sorcerer and the Magic Pond because I love watching The Sorcerer's Stone, which is a Disney movie. So I kind of drew off of that movie to write that children's book that I did at that time.
Wow. How does it, how do you, because I'm sure by now you probably have like done book readings in classrooms maybe, or how have you been able to interact with like your kid audience?
I've interacted with my kid audience. Um, by wearing the bright colors and the hat and showing them physical items that you would probably see at the county fair, and also they really love the coloring pages that I give them too. So when they color the hot air balloon, they're learning their colors in order, Rory G. Biv. So red, orange, yellow,
Right.
blue, green. Yeah. So yeah.
That's like across board the standard way to learn to learn your
Yeah.
colors. You
Yeah.
never forget that.
Yeah.
How is the interaction with the parents when they, you know, um, buy, the books for the children, or when they see the children reacting to the book?
Mhm. Ooh, I think you're fuzzing out on me. I think your screen still froze a little bit.
Did it go out again?
It's just sort of like
Okay. It's
it's frozen
Did you
time.
can you hear? Okay.
I can hear you, but the screen is like it gets
That's
frozen time. Mm, excuse me.
okay. Gotcha. It'll probably catch up. I'm not sure. It may be my location or my internet, but um, my apologies. I'm glad we're doing an audio version of this. but
Yeah.
um, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Miss Lynn said that I was going in and out. Um, How about we try this just a second, maybe to let my computer catch up with what I'm doing. I may try to switch back to another device. But
Okay.
would you mind just telling us a little bit chronologically about your writing experiences from that very first one in the fourth grade up until now? Just kind of give the audience an idea of your history as an author. With each one of those titles.
Okay. So my very first title. Oh, let's see. Okay. So the first title that came after the sorcerer in the magic pond was Lenny the lizard, and discuss friendship and kindness for kids. And so with those two things that I admired, I decided to use a green scarf to help kids to understand the importance of kindness and just embracing the friendships that you have. So Lenny shares this green scarf with all of his friends in the book. And so they learn to embrace, the positive out of the negative that they were going through. And so after Lenny the Lizard came a colorful balloon ride, which I was discussing just about 5-10 minutes ago. Teaches preschoolers and kindergartners how to identify and match colors. And then the book after that was Girl Rise, which is a story about a young girl named Ellie Billings who struggles with low self worth and confidence and comparing herself to others and where she's at in her life and where they're at. And so during over the course of a couple of years, she experiences 4 toxic love relationships that kind of shape her her self esteem and really challenge her physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so her very first relationship that she had, her boyfriend was named John, who was her first love in college. And so they grew a love relationship and they had, common interests and they were both cultured and they enjoy performing arts and everything. But just, things fell apart after 6 months of them dating. And so I think, at the time, Allie's brother died. And so I think she wanted to fill that void in her heart by reaching out back to John and rekindling the relationship that they had. And so they met up with each other and just things didn't click and work out. And so that's when Ellie realized that this relationship, ended for the best. And so after that circumstance happened, she met Mark, who she has a deeply passionate relationship with. And that was the very first passionate relationship that she ever had. And so her and Mark just somehow or another with their personalities, they just clicked with each other and that they could just carry an easy conversation and finish each other's sentences, and they just got each other so well. But I think Mark had issues with ego and pride, and he let those things get in the way of the relationship. And so I think he wanted to take control of the relationship. And so Allie just didn't take to that. And I think that that's what caused the relationship to butt heads with each other. And so um, they had Allie parted ways from Mark. And so within that, Allie learns from Andy Stanley, the right person method and learning how to become the right person for that special someone in her life. And so she meets Nick, who thinks, like he's a godsend, in her life. And he just this overall good Christian man and does all these nice things. But she soon discovers within the 5 months of the relationship that he has um, narcissistic personality disorder, which um, in turn, she figures out that he's the wolf in sheep's clothing. So that was a real disappointment for her. And she just thought that everything was going to lead up to, getting married to one another, but it didn't. And I think in that relationship Allie experienced that Nick had some childhood trauma issues that he hadn't dealt with, and some jealousy and envy towards his family, and wishing that he wasn't, where his brother is in his life. So I think, Allie had firsthand experience some of, I wish I was in so and so's shoes, and I wish I had so and so's career or finances. So I think Allie could relate to that. And so after that relationship ended, she meets Lee, who's a little bit more laid back, and he has this sort of eclectic taste. And I think it was a relationship where two opposites attracted. And so I think that's what drew Allie into Lee. But and within that time, Allie meets, her best friend named Dillion, who introduces her to Greg, which Greg shows Allie what true love is all about. And now Allie has a healthy love relationship that she loves. And so now I'm working on the second book to Girl Rise, where, Allie's and Greg's relationship continues to grow with one another, and they set those healthy boundaries in that relationship right off from the first book. And that takes off in the second book, you know. And it just amazed Allie to, for once, Allie has, the love relationship that she's longed for with her heart's desire. So, and in the second book, um, I guess I don't know, might be a spoiler alert, but Greg wants to settle down with Allie and everything, but I don't want to give too many details of the second book. So there's a lot of conflict and drama that happens in the second book, and that's where Nick's character develops more, and that's where his best friend Mike and Ashley's personalities grow in the second book. And so I think they're out to sabotage Allie's, new love relationship now, and they're all jealous of her, and they can't stand the fact that Allie's now found true love and the healthy love relationship that she so desires. So that's kind of like, a little sneak peek into the second book. And then after Girl Rise, I wrote Cracking the Happy Weight Code, which is a story off of Allie and how she struggles with weight and body image and peer pressure in school and all. So, and in the Cracking Happy Weight Code book, I give people healthy recipes to follow by, and I do breakfast and lunch and dinner and appetizers and a lot of cool stuff in there. So, yeah. And then the gratitude journals, sort of like an add-on kind of a book, you know, to like, you know, to help you to feel grateful for the things that you have. And then the two cookbooks I came out with on ebook called 40 Recipes to Tackle Diabetes, which I decided to write inspired off my mom having type 2 diabetes. So I wanted to give her a cookbook to help her with her type 2 diabetes and 40 recipes to a better weight loss, um, which, is to help people maintain, a healthy weight and all. And I want to come out with a cookbook for weight maintenance too, maintaining where you're at with your weight and all. So, and I think, 40 recipes for better weight loss would be a good cookbook for people who are struggling with, the holiday stress eating, maybe eating a little too much, and you want to feel lighter and healthier. So that would make a great cookbook for you.
I
Hey.
honestly don't know which
Okay,
camera I'm on. I'm trying to work through all of these technical.
And now recently I've co-authored a book with Carnelian Moon Publishing called Messages to My Younger Self, where I've written 2 chapters in the book called Quit Comparing Yourself to Others and Food Will Not Solve Your Problems. So the Quit Comparing Yourself to Others was inspired off of Girl Rise and writing about how Allie quit comparing herself to others and everything. And then Food Will Not Solve Your Problems. That chapter was inspired off of Cracking the Happy Weight Code. So yeah. So a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, can you let me know if you can not? Can you hear me?
You kind of, there's some
Can
fuzziness
you?
going on. I think it's,
Can you hear me?
you got this ticker tacker sound going on. I
Oh,
mean,
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you guys.
okay, I
Thank.
think it's fuzzing. You're
Okay, I can
stuttering.
hear you.
It's like the sound is stuttering. Like it's this ticker. It's like a ticker
Okay.
tacker sound. What I'm hearing.
Okay, and it's like I can hear you fine, and the audience, I think they can hear me as well. So I don't know, and I know before, like the replay has been pretty well, but I don't, I appreciate those that are on. I definitely don't want to keep those with the technical difficulties. I definitely thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I apologize for the whole thing. I've moved. I'm on 2 devices. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm so excited for you. So excited about your books. You are on a like you are really, really on a roll.
Yeah.
I know you talked about coming out, but about how many more books do you plan on writing?
So I'll probably write between, 3 to 5 over the next 5 years because I'm working on the second book to Girl Rise, where Allie's moved on to Greenville, South Carolina, and she lands a job as a news reporter with the Greenville News. And, the story kind of takes off with her new job and how her friends, kind of go along her journey, and also how her love relationship continues to grow with Greg and blossoms into this beautiful true love that she has in her life. after experiencing the 4 toxic love relationships that she had prior
Right.
to meeting Greg. And Dillion, introduces, Allie to Greg and gets her to understand, what makes true love and what makes up a healthy love relationship. And Greg shows her that. And he treats
Right.
her like a lady, like a queen, the way a lady needs to be treated. And he doesn't talk down to her or try to belittle her. So, I think there's much more. He's a healthy communicator, you know.
And so ultimately, like all of these are like perfect when it comes to speaking, to your readers on, the really heavy issues
Yeah.
of life. That's what it definitely,
Yeah.
I would say, are making a difference with your readers. And I love that you're not just bound to one particular type of genre. So
Yeah.
I love what you have and what you're doing. I really
Yeah.
love that because I believe books change the world. And I just love that it's just kind of constantly pouring out of you. So
Yeah. So
that's
on Girl Rise, I
like
talk
pretty.
about how to break down the 7 weapons of self destruction. So that's a really some cool nitty gritty stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that what audience is that particularly for?
I would say young adult women between the ages of 18 to 25.
Okay. We have another question for you. It says, do you plan to write for young adults or children? Excuse me if you said so and I missed the answer.
And the answer is yes. So I plan to write for both young adults and kids.
Yeah, and her previous titles are a mixture for actually both young adults and children.
Yeah.
Mainly
Yeah.
children, though, right?
Mainly children. Yeah.
Mainly children. Okay. Well, I won't keep you. I know we've had some difficulties. I'll catch the playback. And for those of you that are listening in, we are starting an audio podcast where you can actually listen to these replays once they're done for cases like this with the whole technical difficulties, things that I can't necessarily control. I know my visual looks horrible right now because I don't have great lighting. So I just thank you guys that are tuning in. I thank you guys. Feel free to ask Allistar any questions that you may have before we hop off. And of course, if you're looking to connect with her, you can go to her website, Allistar the Author, which is so cool. Can I just ask a random question?
Yeah, sure.
um, where is there a particular person that you're named after, or what's the inspiration behind your name,
Oh, so
Allistar?
mine.
I don't think I've.
Yeah. So Allister actually came from a Christmas story about an elf. And so yeah, the elf's name was Alice. I think it was Alistair. And so my mom decided to look up the female name to Alistair, which was Alistar. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's unique. It's very
Yeah.
unique. So I just I just had to ask. So if we don't have any more questions, we're gonna hop off. Miss Celestine says thank you. Um, let me put her comment here. Oh, trying to show the. We do have one question, but okay. Miss Lynn says, "Thank you. Have an awesome holiday, Mrs. Zoe and Miss Allister. Thank you so
Oh,
much."
thank you, Mrs.
Then
Townsend.
we
The
have.
same to you.
Thank you. I hope this question wasn't asked before. What inspired you?
So what inspired me to write? So journaling became a therapeutic for me, and so the journaling inspired me to write my stories and to be able to use those hurtful personal experiences I went through into something that's inspirational and encouraging.
That's amazing. I think that's most of us as writers probably start really young. I started in the fourth grade as well. The next question says, will you post Facebook and website address? The website address is actually posted in the scroll up. I'll make sure to repost that. But if you scroll up, is all the way in the first comments, which I can't repost it right now, but I'll definitely do that. And where can we find you on social media? Your Allistar, do you have a brand page or do you just use your personal page?
A personal page or my website's fine, but I have Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Allistar Banks.
Okay, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Allistar Banks. They did that. They did that with their daughter's name. Got it from a Christmas store. And I'll answer that next question, Miss Townsend. As we wrap up, so let me go ahead and post before I forget, before we get off of here. Allistar, the author. My alarm I was knocking off phone, but okay. So it's Allistar, the author. That's your website. And then Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you say?
Yeah. Hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is Allistar Banks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll definitely connect with you on those other platforms. I'm just typing in the chat so that we can go ahead and do that for the ones that are watching. So I put all of her information there, and I'm going to answer this question from Ms. Townsend, but I don't want to hold you up. I thank you so much again for bearing with our technical difficulties and being a guest on our author spotlight.
Yeah.
I hope you have a wonderful evening.
I hope you have a wonderful evening as well, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't see you before then.
Okay, thank you. You as well.
All righty.
Okay. So, really quick, just to answer, the book is literally pages under inspiration. It could be it can be and thank you so much for, like I said, bearing with our technical difficulties. But it could be basically a book that is literally about anything, your life story, a children's book, or whatever. But a pamphlet is smaller in size. It's usually about yay thick, and it's usually like a informational type of manuscript. It's not necessarily a book to entertain. It's just a pamphlet that basically gives a short amount of information, almost like a, a mini version of a magazine, you could say, that would basically give information